For the ballad version of Marry Me Like He Did Back, then I have no explanation for applause. That any relationship kind of survive, that no, it was a lot honestly, don't hello. And then you'll get to see the clothes first see you. We're going to bring you through the museum. Hello, Jennifer. Oh, no, it seems like another couple is calling it quits in 2024. This time, it's Jennifer Lopez and Ben Affleck. Did anyone not see this coming? Word is they're getting a divorce. Apparently, Ben has been missing his ex-wife Jennifer Garner, and now regrets getting together with Gillo. So what are all these rumors going around that JLo recently blasted Ben Affleck for divorcing her? And are any of these true? Let's find out. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now let's get going. Who is one person or one thing you can always trust, and one thing you can always trust in Oh God family was nowhere in sight. JLo posed perfectly, making sure everyone knows the ring is still. I do things at home sometimes, but they don't know. Before diving into the divorce drama, let's rewind a bit. Ben's story began in 2001 when they started dating, and Ben proposed in 2002 with a huge pink diamond ring. But they called off their wedding just before the big day in 2004 and split shortly after. Fast forward almost 20 years. And in 2021 they were spotted on a cute date in the Hamptons. By summer 2022, they tied the knot. However, if you've been following along, you might have noticed they haven't been seen together publicly since around March 30th during an outing in New York, remembering at the time that Ben had given me years ago. And lots of kind of just, so that's the big diamond, did you know? And I was like, yes, it is. Jennifer really got people talking when she liked an Instagram post about healthy relationships, hinting that something wasn't quite right. The post said you can't build a relationship with someone who is disconnected from themselves. Plus, she flew solo at the Met Gala with the explanation that Ben was busy filming The Accountant too and couldn't make it. But let's be real, it's pretty obvious there's trouble brewing in paradise, or more likely a whole lot of trouble, given that we're talking about a divorce here, folks. Before these recent reports, there were already signs that things weren't going smoothly. Remember that viral video where Ben seemed really stressed out and unhappy during a coffee run in La? He even slammed a car door after helping Jennifer into the passenger seat. Then there was that footage of them having what looked like a big argument in the car at some traffic lights in Beverly Hills. Ben was pointing, Jen was looking out the window. Definitely not a calm scene. And at last year's Grammy Awards, Jennifer seemed to snap at Ben during a tense moment, although they tried to brush it off. And did you see that video where Ben practically bolted after telling JLo he'd be back? It's like he couldn't wait to leave. So here's the latest scoop. Reports are saying that Jennifer and Ben are not exactly on the same page in their marriage anymore. A source spilled the beans to US Weekly, saying Jen and B are having issues in their marriage. They started having issues a few months ago, as Jen had started ramping up work commitments and prepping for her tour. And according to TMZ, Ben has even moved out there. Spilled, we're told he left a house that he's been seen coming from and going to. And we're told he's been spending the night as well over it. He's been out of the house. They haven't seen the two of them in public in 47 days. And so people are buzzing. That's all I have to say. Next, what with all the divorce rumors flying around, fans are chiming in with their own theories about why the marriage hit the rocks. Since Ben himself stated he preferred to keep his marriage private and off social media, it's not surprising that many people believe Ben got tired of JLo constantly vying for attention and exposing their love lives for everyone to see. All right, here's the scoop. Before getting back together 2 decades later, Jen and Ben split up in 2003. Ben claimed at the time that the strain from the public spotlight was great for their relationship. But once they got back together, he understood he needed to change for this new chapter. He even discussed it in Jennifer's 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, saying, "When we got back together, I told her, I'm not really into sharing our relationship on social media. But then I realized it's not fair to ask that it's like marrying a boat captain. And saying I don't like the water, we're just two people with different ways of doing things, trying to find a middle ground I love, that you want to play younger, even in the autobiographic. This is not my autobiographical. This is meta, this is me using some of my story semi-autobiographical. It's your story, but young well she still got her beauty her booty, and her bank account, so bye boy to him puppy this isn't about me. And you puppy take that out no that is not part of this gar. It seems like Ben never quite got comfortable with his love life being out there for everyone to see. And that really took a toll on their marriage. There's even a part in the documentary where Ben seems uneasy about J-Lo sharing their old love letters with her friends and coworkers. On top of that, it said that J-Lo pushed Ben to keep up a certain image to the point where he got upset because people were criticizing him for getting fillers and Botox, that Jen encouraged him to get rumor. Has that J-Lo convinced him that everyone in Hollywood does a little something to their face, even his close pals like Matt Damon? A bunch of folks are wondering if Jen and Ben's divorce has anything to do with Jen being linked to Diddy's case around March. People started gossiping that Jen might be connected to some of the stuff going on. Remember that incident where a woman named Natin Rubin got hit in the face? Yeah. That one Jen even talked about wanting to get the bullet fragments taken out of her face for evidence. Because she's ready to reopen the case, she's willing to let a doctor dig out part of the bullet in her face, if it helps with the trial, even if it puts her life at risk additionally. Natalie stated that Jen lied to the jury and that she believes she should be investigated. Additionally, she stated that many other people testified. And now there is debate about revisiting the case because, if what is being said about Jen being accurate, she lied to the jury, which is significant material that deserves further investigation. That way I was very family-oriented, and a kind of a the Mary type. I was actually, when we first worked together on the video, I was married even though I was going through problems. Nobody knew that what I mean. And I wanted my family. And even though at that time it was not going well, what I mean. And have you seen how J-Lo's been lately? Besides the Diddy thing, she's been making headlines for all the wrong reasons her projects aren't doing too hot. And then there's that Bronx orange drink mess plus. There was that weird incident with her chewing gum, and her assistant in New York City. People are also calling her out for how she treats her staff. Fans are saying it's not a coincidence that so many people who've worked for her tell the same story about how they were treated. She's making waves again for how she's always borrowing from Black culture, but doesn't give credit to Black artists who helped her music succeed. She's even called herself NR. So she kind of acknowledges her African roots. But here's the thing with Jenny from the block, they didn't do her vocals justice. The from the Bronx part is what makes her so folks are saying if she carries this attitude into her marriage, well, it was bound to hit rocky shores sooner or later. There are reports saying Jen and Ben aren't ready to give up on their marriage just yet, and might try to make things work. Word is Ben's open to therapy, even though he finds it kind of embarrassing. He's willing to give it a shot with an open mind. But he's not banking on therapy being the magic fix for their marriage. He's okay with facing conflict and fighting for what he wants more than most guys, according to someone who's known Ben for over a decade. Everything's a battle for him. And Jen, they say the only thing that really satisfies Ben is coming out on top when things are tough. Since they got back together, it seems like Ben and Jennifer are always butting heads. But there's also a ton of passion and respect between them. Still, you gotta wonder, why do they want their marriage to be such hard work in the first place? There's got to be an easier way, despite their issues. The couple, who famously reunited almost 2 decades after their initial engagement in the early 2000s, captured the public's imagination with their whirlwind second chance at love. The rumors of their separation